Hello internet. This weekend is a bank holiday weekend. That means that everyone in the country gets a day off for no reason. Now, it's 7:30 in the morning and this weekend I'm f***ing driving it. I moved nothing. Nothing changed. It's just decided to start leaking coolant. Done. You stay? Stay. No. If I hit you with something, it means stay. I love cars. Honestly, do an engine conversion on your driveway. It's easy. You can do it in a weekend. Ah, cramp! This is the behind the scenes stuff that no one sees. When you put the camera slightly in the wrong place, you need to turn it using the spanner. There you go, look. Perfect. Now at this point, because it hasn't been put back down on the floor, we don't know how close these boost pipes are going to be to this drive shaft. I'm thinking very. So, for the first time in 4 or 5 months, I'm going to put it on the floor. Yeah. It's not too far off. Go up a little bit, I reckon. For you, that first clip was probably only about 4 minutes ago. It's now 6:30 at night. Still going. We have clutch pressure. I've never been so happy in my life. I've never been so happy to play with a little knob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. As it stands, this boost hose comes out of the intercooler over there, comes under here, and then like that. And this subframe has always been in the way, meaning that this front pipe sat a bit wonky. Now I've just had a thought. Aluminium bends. You know what? It might be a bit ugly, but it'll work. It's now 9:20. I'm gonna have to call it for the day. I am dead. Alright, so I dropped the ball a little bit. It's now Monday. Probably thinking to yourself, Adam, what happened? You said you were gonna spend a weekend on this and you didn't. So I'll show you what happened. This wonderful thing decided to snap a spring and then a ball joint and then everything else. So pretty much rebuilt this entire arm. And that took a day and a half because I didn't have the tools I needed to do. So fortunately someone took pity and brought me some tools around, so I was able to fix it. But now, the bee tells me it's 6 o'clock So we've got 3 hours of daylight left, so I'm going to do as much as I can in the 3 hours.
One pathetic sob story later.
So at the moment, for temporary sort of testing-y purposes, I've got this fuel pump wired into a relay, which is then going to a permanent live, just so I can test to see if it works. So we know it works now, so I'm just going to wire it straight to an ignition live. Fused, obviously, because otherwise, you know, fuel and sparks and things. So no, it's not ideal to wire it to an ignition live. Your ECU should send the signal. However, mine isn't. So for whatever reason, it's choosing not to do that, and I'm just going to say F you. Hey! Fuel! Check! So if you look at the travel on 3rd, goes all the way up there. If you look at the travel on 4th, it's a bit stiff and it just goes down there. So when we activate 4th, what you can see what happens is 3rd, 4th, 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 4th. This is the spare linkage that I had off the lay-on. Fortunately, it's actually coming quite useful. So if these are too short on yours for whatever reason, obviously you've got this area here, which is your adjustable area. Now I was looking at this thinking, there's a thread on there, it looks like it should go in and out, but it doesn't. What you actually have to do is if you pull this bit upwards, you'll see that that gets exposed. Then you need to hold it down here, and you can, with all the will in the world, wiggle that down, and that then locks back into place. Pull back this foreskin, like that. Oh blimey, that's probably a bit far. Oh no, that might be alright actually. Neutral, 3rd, 4th. So 4th is going to be a bit sticky because my power steering still isn't mounted, so it's got to push that out of the way. But we're now staying in 4th. 3rd, 2nd, again sticky because power steering. So we've got gears, we've got some kind of clutch pressure, we've got fuel pump, clutch pedal needs to go back in. Where's that? Here. It's kind of now Saturday after the Monday. Nah. Today I've kind of been thinking about, so the exhaust has now gone back on as well. Gear linkages have been all good. I managed to get a new condom for the hydraulic clutch thingy, and it now goes in reverse, which is a bonus. However, I still don't think I have any clutch pressure, no matter what I do, which is really annoying. So I'm going to start it now, hopefully it starts still, and see if we have any gears at all. I'm not thinking we're going to. Battery's a bit flat. So what we got, hang on. Clutch would then theoretically be in. Engine note changes, but nothing until I put it in reverse. And you ready for this? This noise is the exhaust hitting the body because it's not bolted on. But then I have no bite. That's in gear. We have a clutch that still doesn't return it. It's definitely not a week later. So it turns out what happened is that the master cylinder that I got from GSF was already pissing out fluid, which was great. So I went through all of that, and now we're going to go through all that again with another brand new master cylinder. And if this doesn't work, then I'm going to start crying. Time for bleed cycle number 407,000. Do we have any clutch pressure? System is sealed. Clutch rod, pressure, return, pressure, return. So after all this time of dicking about, I think I've just realised that this goes on the inside, which would solve all of my problems. Because if it goes on the inside and it fits, then this will then be long enough to reach into the pedal, and it will level the pedals out. Now, whilst things like this are quite annoying, you've got to remember that there are people in the world, such as Sam, who suffer with ginger.
The next day.
Yeah, so 3 weeks later, we're still bleeding the clutch. really doesn't want to go. So I've just drained it, and I'm now going to fill it up from the slave and hopefully reverse the whole thing, and fingers crossed that way something will happen. Reverse bleed attempt 1, any pedal? Nope. Goody. So I decided to take the entire line out, get the whole thing apart, and this happened. That's now snapped. Nope. Trying to rob the line out of this Mark V Golf here. I think the ends are extremely similar, at the very least. Look at this weapon! How cool is that? I don't know who you are. I think you had Dan and Instagram written on the side of it, but that is sick. Okay, so this is the one of the Mark V, this is the one of the Mark IV, or the Audi should I say. The only difference is these ends here, because the Mark V had a concentric internal slave cylinder, and this one's obviously got an external, so I'm hoping I can just undo this here, that one there, swap the ends over, and happy days. If you're wondering what this thing is on the line, it's a kind of like a buffer to take some vibration out of the pedal. Swear to God, if this doesn't work, I'm going to break my own legs. Reverse bleed take 1. So we're going in through the slave cylinder, through the new pipe, up into the master cylinder, out of here, and the fluid is now coming back into here, as you can see. System is now sealed again. Are you ready? Nothing. For fuck's sake. It just dawned on me that when I pushed the pedal just then, I still had this hooked up, which means that pressure would have been going backwards. Which may mean we're getting there. So now we take the easy bleed off. Okay, right. System should now be pressurised. Do we have pedal return? Firstly, do we have any pressure? Better.
One pair of pants later.
So where the hydraulic hose joins the back of the master cylinder just popped out. Brilliant. So I've bled it again. Let's try once more. Now if this doesn't work, I'm officially out of brake fluid because so much of it is pissed out everywhere. I'm going to have to go buy some more. Oh. No. That was easy, really. Nothing to it. Now the question is, once it's running, will it go into gear? Put it in neutral, because that might matter now. Oh, hasn't got any fuel. Just pumping up the tyre at the moment. So before it moves, what we need to check is that 1, the fuel pump comes on and puts fuel into the engine. 2, we need to make sure that the fuel filter isn't leaking. 3, once it starts, we need to make sure that we have regulated voltage and it's charging itself. 4, we need to make sure that when we rev the bollocks out of it, it doesn't blow up. That'll be good. And 5, we check to see if we've got clutch, and after the first 3 weeks of my headache and money, is it going to move forward? We've got clocks now as well, which is nice. So ignition on. Fuel pump goes. Not in gear. Battery's flat. Okay, it's been a good 1 minute of charging now. Let's try again. You notice I'm far too impatient for my own good. Right, I think we're all good. What are we charging at? 13.66. Do the clocks go off? They do. Fuel pump comes on. Bit smoky. We're running. Let's have a look at what we're charging at. Lovely, that's nice. Okay. Well, I've lost all clocks for some reason, which is weird. Any revs? No revs. This is the first time it started. Oh, is it dying? Oh no, it's just chilled out. Oh, it's idling so nicely. This is the first time it started and run off the fuel tank. So now, let's see if it goes in gear. Right. Doesn't go into gear with nothing in, which is good. Clutch in. We're in first. Oh my god, is it going to roll? Is it going to roll? Handbrake off. Doesn't mean no more muckiness, no.
Oh. Shit.
So we're going to end this one here. Finally. Now there's a lot of electrical things to sort out, but we know it starts, we know it runs, we know it drives, we know it's got gears. It goes forward, it goes backwards. I need to sort out the linkage a little bit because it pops out at first, but whatever. I'm going to put this back together. Thank you for watching.